Welcome back to Cast of the Pod. This week, joining us, another HTV original. Scylla joins us with Deadly Friend.
Warning. This podcast is about the horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence, and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. But if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
I want to say thank you for recommending Deadly Friend.
You're very welcome. A lot of folks, when I talk about it, nobody's heard about it, even though it's a Wes Craven movie. They have no idea what I'm saying when I'm talking about it.
So,
it's pretty awesome. Did you at least enjoy it?
Oh, like, we'll get into that later. I just wanted I had never realized that. I mean, I've seen the movie before, and I didn't realize it until you get to this scene where Throw Mama from the Train shotguns BB.
Oh.
and then I was like, I know this movie.
And I'm like, yeah, it's Deadly Friend.
But I never knew the name of it, or you know what I mean? It's from 1986. I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
How
Josh was like, who's that? Who's the blonde? Who's the main character? Who's that girl? Right? And I was like, that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And I'm like, and I was thinking TV Buffy. I wasn't thinking of movie Buffy.
Oh. I honestly prefer the movie.
Me too. But I yeah. What were we gonna say, Scylla?
Okay. No. I was like, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw her, I was like running through all these 80 films, trying to figure out who she was. And I was like, I know I've seen her like kick, like kick in a movie or a TV show. And I'm trying to think of all of this stuff, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me something like, don't tell mom the babysitter's dead, just naming off some stuff. And my buddy was like, that's Buffy. And I looked at him like, are you stupid? That's not Buffy. But I didn't say that. I merely gave that look like, come on, I've seen Buffy, and yes, that's when it snapped. Like, oh, wait. There was a movie, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah, I was right there. I was like, what's it called, the show? Yeah.
So
it was Buffy. She was Buffy, and then Paul Rubens was in there. He was a vampire.
Yeah. So real quick, Scylla, I didn't know. Are we calling you Scylla, or what are we calling you?
Yeah, you could call me Scylla.
Oh.
I know there's another Scylla, but however. Doesn't matter.
No worries. But going back to Buffy, did y'all know she was in Pretty in Pink?
No.
Yeah, she was in Pretty in Pink, and the character she played in Pretty in Pink, her name was Duckette.
What?
Do you remember
Wait.
Duckette from Pretty? I remember Ducky.
No, I remember Ducky, but I don't.
Yeah, Duckette.
I don't know why you said Pretty in Pink, and I was picturing Breakfast Club. And I was like, no.
Hey.
You see how that works? That's old mind working right there. It's like, hold on, let me go to the Rolodex.
Deb's brain was going, don't you
I was like,
about me.
What was she, behind the door or
Make
something?
me up, even if I'm not in the
what I was
movie.
wondering. Is she the one that they cut the hair? Who? I don't remember. No, that wasn't. Who?
That wasn't Pretty in Pink. That was
16 Candles. You see?
16 Candles.
You see?
They're all
You
Molly
see?
Ringwald. They're all in one movie.
She was.
It's a continuation.
So look, in 1986, she was in Mr. Boogedy, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Deadly Friends, and then '87 she was in Flowers in the Attic. So she was.
Well, I remember
busy.
Flowers in the Attic. She was she was a little girl, right? And Flowers
She
in the
was
Attic.
Kathy Dollaganger.
One of the
I
daughters.
remember her in Flowers in the Attic because I read B.C. Andrews at a very young age. And I remember when I was going through it, I was like, oh, yeah, but I couldn't remember the actual character, just like how pale her skin was.
Who was she in Ferris Bueller?
She was Simone Adamson. I think she was one of the stuck-up chicks. Can you still say stuck up? Is that a?
You can say whatever you want to on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
but you know,
But you know who she was also?
Oh,
She was the hottie, the main, the love interest in Hot Shots Part 2. She was Kowalski. She was the blonde from. You remember Hot Shots Part 2? With Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. No, yeah.
I know
Charlie
there's like a chicken in there.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
on the cover.
right.
Sheen. And a
Okay,
bullseye.
see? Oh, right. Okay, that's right. That's right. He ran out of arrows, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Got it. Yeah, you got to make do with what you got. Okay, okay. Yeah, now I'm
So-
gonna have to go back and look at all this because yeah, I did not know this.
But we went on the. She was also in Highway to Hell. We went on the Highway to Hell with Christy Swanson. We forgot that we were talking about the 1986 movie Deadly Friend,
No.
which you know how movies
We-
you know how movies have not subtitles, but like extra names, the tagline or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I've made my own personal tagline for Deadly Friend, Scylla. You want to know what it is?
Okay.
Deadly Friend, the world's cutest horror film.
It is right. It's like such a cute love story. I love it. My mom was so tired of this movie.
This movie was so cute that don't get caught off guard or anything. I'm gonna play this. I've added this to our soundboard. You ready?
Okay.
So now,
Adorable.
It kind of sounded like he said fragile.
Fragile. What is it? Italian?
I tried to. You know what? The second time that I watched it, I was trying to figure out if I was like, well, is he saying? Are they trying to make him kind of say some stuff? But I got kind of caught up
I think I
in the movie
did.
itself. That I,
Kind
He
of.
did hear. I did hear some words.
Well, not like in Gremlins where he was like Gizmo, and, you know, Gizmo Caca, and then Gizmo would kind of say Billy and stuff like that. But not, I think he was just had his own BB language. But here's something. I don't know if y'all know. Do you know who did the voice of BB?
Christy Swanson.
Nope.
Oh.
Scylla?
oh, wow. Okay. Left field. Actually, no. I have no clue.
This person has been in Back to the Future Part 1 and 2. We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, The Polar Express, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and dozens and dozens and dozens of movies. Person is in his late 70s already. Very famous. And I'm going to tell you the movie that he's most famous for if y'all say that y'all don't want to guess anymore.
He's Back to the Future. Is he Doc?
Nope. The movie that because I'm saying I still haven't told you the movie that he's most famous for.
Oh,
Okay.
Roger Rabbit.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I can't remember his name.
Charles Fleischer. Roger Rabbit is the voice
I
of BB.
kind of. He sounds like.
Look, I'm gonna play it again. You ready?
Please.
you
I
go.
can hear
Oh
him
my
now.
gosh,
When he did that, he sounded like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
yes. When he's all please.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not know that, but now I feel dumb for not knowing that.
Now you know. Bring. Now we
Yeah.
need a little star with the rainbow flying over our heads. The
Oh
more
my
you know.
gosh.
So before we even
That
get
is cool. That is. Hold on. Let me just take that in. Okay.
before we get
Okay.
into we haven't even started the movie yet. We're just talking about the cast. The main guy. What was his name in the movie? Paul.
Yeah.
Paul Conway. He was played by Matthew Laborto.
He looks very familiar, but I don't know.
He was one of the main kids from Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. He was also a voice in Mulan. But now, Deborah and I aren't this far into this type of stuff. But Scylla, you might know. Did you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
No. I was more of a Pokemon.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
in Yu-Gi-Oh, he was a voice on many episodes. He's Jaden Yuki, whoever that is.
I have no idea.
So that was like the closest, most local thing that I could find on him. That other than this old stuff. But anyways, so where do y'all want to start off? Do you want to start off the beginning? You want to jump into your favorite parts of Deadly Friend, or what? Silly, you're the guest, so you tell me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
gosh.
Why did you choose this movie?
Yes.
Okay. So when I was young, of course, when these movies were coming out, my mom would sneak me off to take me to go see these because I think we weren't allowed to back then. We still lived with my grandma. So once it came out, I, of course, had it on VHS and kept playing it over and over again because of one little thing. I like to, do my fingers like her and walk around going, beep, 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 beep.
Yes.
Oh, my God. And I guess I watched it a little too much. I watched it at my grandma's house just to kind of, brush up a little bit. My grandma has dementia, y'all. Okay. So she forgets stuff 5 minutes later, but she did not forget how annoying this movie was to watch. So I was like, hey, Grandma, I'm going to throw a movie on. It's kind of scary. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but I need to refresh my memory a little bit on it. And she's like, no, mija, ¿cómo tú quieres? If you want to watch it, it's fine. I'm like, okay. I put it on and she just kind of gave me that look. And I looked at her and ha, and I did my little thing. I did I'm not little. I did my fingers a little beep beep, and she walked out. So I was like, oh wow, she remembers. So yeah, it was one of my favorite. It was one of my favorite nerdy love stories growing up. And honestly, I think I was probably 5 or 6 when this movie came out. What year was it?
86.
Yes, so I was probably about 5 or 6 when this movie came out, and I thought it was one of the cutest little nerdy science love stories.
So, talking about that, did you know that when they made this movie and they went to do the test screening and show the company, what's the word I'm thinking of? The studio, the movie?
Mm-hmm.
The studio went, no. We're not doing this because it was 90% a love story
and 10% horror.
It wasn't even horror. They were mad. They're like, why do we have Wes Craven? And Wes Craven's like, this is the movie that we were going to make. And they're like, no, we need horror. We want Freddy. We want Nightmare on Elm Street. That's why we brought you in. So he kind of begrudgingly, the whole smashing the head with the basketball and all that
classic
stuff. Yeah, that was done sarcastically. They're like, "Oh, you want gore? You want violence?" And they did that. They're like, "They'll never approve this." And they approved it. They were like, "Excellent. That's what we wanted."
So, did this movie do I don't remember, but did this movie do good?
I don't know. But I can't talk. Beep, 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 beep.
Beep beep.
I know. I don't know. I didn't look it up. Thanks, Deborah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I always watched it on VHS, and as I grew older and I talked about it, nobody knew what I was talking about. Unless I did the whole, with my hand and going beep beep, and they're like, oh, I think I remember that. But they at least 2 people associated with Shopper Mall.
Yes, Chopping Mall.
Oh, Shopping Mall, sorry.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very rare that if I say, hey, Deadly Friend, or bring it up in conversation, no, you don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm not sure what this gross was on its release.
I'm seeing if I can.
I was like, can we crunch the numbers on that, Josh?
I remember watching it.
Thanks, Deborah.
I remember what. You're welcome. I remember watching it all the time when I was little, but then I forgot about it, to be honest with you, until you said you wanted to do this movie, and then I was like, Deadly Friend, why does that sound familiar? And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, I remember this movie. And I had forgot all about it.
So here's the box office numbers that Deborah needs, apparently.
I don't need them. I was just asking.
Well, now I'm curious. So.
I don't have how much it costs to make, but the first weekend, U.S. and Canada, which is October 13th, 1986, was $3.8 million. And it grossed worldwide, and it's funny, worldwide it grossed $8.9 million. And then right under that, it says gross in U.S. and Canada, $8.9 million, which means it was only in USA and Canada, the United States.
Wow.
I don't know why I explained that because I'm pretty sure everybody knows if I'm saying USA. So,
Wow.
but I wonder how much it's made in like VHS cells.
A lot of movies don't do good in the theaters, but then
You get the cult
later
following.
out, yeah.
I know Scream
Mhm.
Factory recently, well, last year, almost a year ago, released it on Blu-ray and their collector's edition stuff from Scream Factory.
Hmm.
Yeah. But so let's get into the movie.
Okay.
So I didn't realize when we were watching the movie and it starts off and they stop like at a truck stop or something like that. And then the guy goes to steal. No steal. He goes to steal, to break into the car. And then BB just starts choking him. And the only reason BB already had homicidal tendencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
yeah,
was
that
already like having a brain of his own, like he.
that's what it was about. It was the development of AI, and then it starts to learn as it goes along and has experiences, just like the human brain.
Is this like the prequel biopic of Elon Musk?
Oh,
Elon Musk.
Yeah, because he's the one that's talking about how that's the biggest threat to society and all that, artificial intelligence, AI, is what's going to take over and kill us and all that.
Oh wow.
Speaking of
I
which,
don't think that's far fetched.
yeah, I don't either. Did you hear what happened in Google?
Wait, what?
Oh, we'll get to that at the end of the
Okay.
conversation.
Wow. Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like,
You see?
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Right? It's like, let me just sprinkle that. That's enough. That's enough.
It's like they do on the news. A horrible thing is destroying lives all across San Antonio. There's only
Oh
one
my
way to
God.
fix it. Tune in tonight. We're not going to tell you right now.
How can they do this?
It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
now I have to wait here.
Right? I gotta wait to see if I'm gonna survive or not.
So here's the thing: as we were watching the movie, and I didn't recognize the movie at this point. How come
Okay.
the movie trope of all these mid '80s movies is somebody moving into a new house and they've got no money or anything like that?
They're starting over.
They're starting over, and their house is always badass.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's because he was a part of that school.
Yeah. I didn't realize Silo was going to be all serious
yeah,
about it with
there-
with the correct
no,
answer.
No, I'm serious. Like, that's how you have to look at it. Like, like, that's what it is, But, I mean, I guess because the majority of divorces started to occur within the mid-'80s.
True. I can see that. That was when
So you
the
have
bubble
to.
popped.
Well, I'm just saying because that would be like I guess like something to associate with, like they do in most movies. So that was probably like the prime thing back then. But you want to dream big. So if you're starting over, you're gonna start at the top, which wasn't true, but maybe. Did I get too serious with that?
No,
that's some Commander Spock like logic right there. It is.
I'm just saying, it's pretty realistic because after you did the whole love, no war type thing in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, and people started to like, I guess women were coming into the workplace more. Like in the 80s, yeah, there was a lot of single mothers.
Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single.
And they were
ladies.
waving their hands.
Oh, the single ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But sometimes, right, they could be going into like the nice neighborhood that has a haunted house, or like there's other factors you got to consider. You're just bringing along a killer robot and a brainiac. That's all.
That's pretty serious right there.
Yeah. So. Is this my last podcast? This is my last podcast.
No.
Why? What happened? What did I miss?
No, because I was like, did I answer the question or was it rhetorical?
That's exactly what I was looking for. I didn't expect the right answer from any of us. No, not just you, but not Deborah, not from me. I didn't think we were going to have. We're not necessarily known for our correctness. But yeah, that makes complete total sense to me. So they're moving into the house, and then this is when you finally get to see BB. He brings him off with his ramp off the they're like in a Volkswagen van, right, or something like that. And then
Yeah.
he instantly meets the local paper boy.
Oh yeah.
His name is like Tom Thomerson or Tom Tooley or back when they had the alliteration, the same, like Peter Parker, Reed Richards, Tom
Yeah.
Tom Tommyson or Tom Tomerlin,
We'll just call him Tommy.
Tommy Two Tone or something like that. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I go to the high school. I'm in 11th grade. How about you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm on the university. I'm working on my doctorates."
I don't.
But-
I'm not going to the high school like you.
Right. He's like,
I'm
what are
on
you
a
in 10th
higher
grade?
level.
Like, no.
In the original version of the script, he's like, "Yes, I need a dumb friend to hang out with to make me feel better." And
It's all about balance. Balance. Yeah.
and then, I mean, this movie, it was an hour and a half, and it felt like 20 minutes for me.
Yeah, it did feel short.
like
Yeah.
a short film. All of a sudden they're hanging out, and you find out
Mhm.
how BB has its own brain and thinking on its own. And he's like, "Well, how do you do that?" He's like, "Oh, well, I created this, and I can tell him where to move, but mostly he does it all by himself." And the kid's like, "Oh, science, great, yeah."
Okay, see you later.
And
But
that
as a kid, that's cool. As an adult, it's a little scary.
enter Christy Swanson. What was her name in the movie?
Samantha.
Yes.
And I'm looking up Samantha Pringle, like the chips. Did you
Oh,
know?
really?
I
Yeah,
didn't know
No, I
And,
didn't know that. I just
that. I
remember
don't
she said
think
that.
they
but
ever
it's
say her
Sam.
last name.
and her dad's name is Harry Pringle. Harry Pringle.
It fell on the floor.
Oh, exactly. So this is when Paul meets Sally, when Paul meets Samantha, and
Mhm.
he sees the bruise on her arm, and
Right.
she did the quick cover, the music changed, so you know where that's leading to, especially in this type of movie. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden they're just quick friends. They're fast friends, as they say.
She was already like sneaking over to his house and
Right. First
But-
girl in his room. Yeah.
And I mean,
And you know what that means? He's in love now.
he's in
Yeah.
love. Yeah. I mean, that's how the real world works, anyways. It's not
a
just
girl
it's
sneaks
not-
into your room and now you're in love.
Yeah.
And for a nerd of that level, probably. Probably.
I don't know if he was in love or if he started like writing a journal. Interesting. If I say these words, this is how she reacts.
That's why he had her and Tom. He was
He was doing a study. One of
Yeah.
them's the base and the other one's a test.
Yep.
When I showed her my collection of vivicided frogs, she seemed to not react well.
But when she saw his stuff in the room, it's just like the science lab. It's cool. Total turn on words right there.
Yeah. So Tommy Two Tone, what's it? Tommy Toomey, that's his name. Tom Toomey. So Tommy's out delivering the papers, being a bottom of the barrel student. It was a class of like 315, and he was ranked 323. And then they show Paul doing like an autopsy on a body with the professor. Dude, and that professor got around because he like worked everywhere. He worked
Yes.
at the hospital.
Wasn't
he
he
worked
even a
with the
cop?
police. He worked
It's a
When your
small
budget is
town.
so much.
yes, the small town of like
All
Philadelphia.
he had to do was put glasses on and take them off, and he
Superman
was a
style.
completely different character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so then they show Paul working on the brain, right? So he knows all this about the synapses and the reactions and everything like that. So of course, what does a genius of this level do? Hey Doc, watch this. I can make his foot move. Ah.
And he scared him.
Yeah.
I could do the same thing with the taser.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. But anyways. So then as they
Now
have
Scylla's gonna try that. She was like, "Wait a minute, do you really?"
Wait, I need a body first. Though, right? I mean, is that what you use?
well, So there's a montage of their friendship and everything's moving on and everything's great with Tom, with Samantha and Paul, and then
And it was all one day.
all on one day. She gives him his first kiss, right? And then they're just, was it like Halloween or something?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yes.
And they're all
Yeah.
just cruising down there, and they're ripping off from ET because now BBs are out in public because I guess it's like the costume makes it okay that it might not really be a robot, it might be somebody in costume. And then they get
Well, no, because wasn't he out on the town when he crushed that dude?
Yeah.
Was it that?
I think he was.
Yeah, he was
just-
out.
yeah
he
they
was
were
walking
they were
down
playing
the-
basketball on the street
Yeah.
when this happened. Hold on, let me find the button.
Oh,
Gotta find the button. This happened.
You can crush it if you want. There's 3 multi-valve compressors. Tell your friends to leave.
He was like, "Yeah, leave, motherfucker." Did you hear
I
that?
heard it too. Yeah.
yeah.
He's all, yeah, leave.
So I guess that proves that BB had his own language there.
Yeah.
I swear he says fragile.
Fragile.
They were watching a Christmas Story or something.
So what happens though is BB with his super brain hacks the little padlock. I hate those padlocks. I've never been able to use those things right. 36 to the left, 12 to the right, 5 to the left. That
That's
bullshit.
it. I'm already confused. So.
Yeah. So BB hacks it real quick because the basketball gets thrown into that side.
You're
of the-
right.
And then Christy Swanson's like, I'll go get it. And she trips and falls, right?
Yes.
Because that's what people in movies do, especially those of the female species. They trip
'Cause
and
we
fall
can't
in,
walk
in
straight.
horror movies. And then Throw Mama from the Train comes out with her shotgun that they teased earlier in the movie and just destroys BB.
Yep.
Completely destroys BB.
I was so
Wait.
sad.
What?
It was. Wait, but before that, when she's up on by the door, doesn't like all these crazy ass alarms go off, right?
Oh yeah, that's what she starts. That's why she trips because,
because
the alarms
Because
went
she
off and she.
freaked out.
She
Yeah.
pushed the doorbell. That's what they were like, oh, she hasn't heard that doorbell ring in like 15 years. Let's go ring it. And
Yeah.
it's actually a button with booby traps and alarms and everything like that.
And she runs. She starts screaming, runs down the
Screaming.
stairs, and that's when she falls.
I don't know
That's
what her
what she
name
calls-
is, but it's the Throw Mama from the Train. What was her name?
I don't know, but
Uh,
she's also Where's the Beef, isn't she? No, that's not.
No, that's a total-
that's a different lady.
It's
Sorry.
a totally different lady. But
She's named Elvira in the movie, right?
she's Elvira. I know there's Elvira Parker. Yes, Anne Ramsey, Miss Parker. Miss Parker, Miss Parker.
It's not her either.
Completely different Miss Parker. Don't want to do that, Miss Parker. No. But I mean, she just went off. She did the Texas thing. I'm gonna drag him back onto my property.
Yeah. And she shot BB.
She shot BB and just laughed about it. And there was nothing they could do because BB was inside her fence. You know, so he saves the chip, saves the brain processor.
Right, with
And-
all that shooting.
Yeah.
Well,
Luckily,
'cause-
she didn't shoot him in the compartment. He had that like bread box on his chest. It was like the shape of a bread box or like a
Like a lunchbox.
a
yeah.
lunchbox type thing, and that's where the processor was.
Yeah.
But then, this is when the first kiss happened. It's like Thanksgiving, right? Like BB dies on Halloween, and then they're doing like Thanksgiving, and that's when Sam's over there having dinner with Paul and his mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then she goes home, and the dad's like, "Where have you been all this time? I didn't notice y'all were eating Thanksgiving for the past 12 hours, but now I noticed. now I noticed you were gone." And
It's
he
because he was hungry.
pushes her down the stairs,
Yeah.
and she falls down,
Hits her head.
hits her head, crinks her neck, and
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 twitches.
twitches.
and twitches.
And twitches.
And
Yeah.
they take her.
That-
Over and over.
Well, I mean,
Over,
that's
yeah.
yeah. But
And
they,
over.
and over and over and over again. Anyways, they take her to the hospital, and they're like, "Yep, nothing we can do about it." We're just,
They didn't even try. They put her in the room and
Right,
then
it's
walked
like-
out.
well, they gave her some
That's
Sprite.
it. That's all we.
No 7-Up.
Well, no, this was on the better side of town, so they
Oh,
gave
okay,
her,
so
they gave her Sprite. They gave her some Sprite.
And some Tylenol.
Put some
you said Tylenol.
some Vicks Vaporub.
And they rubbed an egg over her.
Sana colita de rana.
If that doesn't work, then
With the Vaporub.
yeah. And the egg.
Scylla, do you know what Vaporub?
Wait, did they put? No, but I was like, did they put the Vicks on the seat and then wrap it with the sock?
That's what I'm talking about. Vaporub.
Oh, that.
So, somebody told me that one time. They're like, yeah, the Vaporub. I'm like, what? Vaporub. And then they showed me a picture. I'm like, that's Vicks. And that person, I won't say who it was, points, yeah, look, Vaporub. I'm like, Vapor Rub.
Close enough.
He gave her the thumbs up.
So and then the doctor's like, oh well, basically she's on machines now, and we're gonna unplug her in 24 hours. And the dad's like, okay. And so Paul finds out about it, and he coerces his 32nd, 323rd ranked best friend. Did you know that the best friend's dad was security at the hospital?
I
That's
did
how
not know.
they stole.
Oh, yes.
And then he asked him for the keys.
Yep.
Keys. Yep.
And so they break in and they go to steal her body, but what they don't realize is they decided to
The dad wanted her.
at 23 hours instead of 24 hours.
Yeah.
So by the
'Cause-
time
No,
they
but-
get there,
That shit to do.
Because he needed that 1 hour to head home and do whatever he had to do.
It's like, can we hurry this up?
Yeah.
So
I
the-
got places to be, man.
the ever-loving Paul decides he's like, you know what? I'm still going to make this work. And he puts her in like a little rolling cart. Like,
Yes, for the laundry.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a laundry cart, but it was a small one. I mean, he had to
She's-
fold. He
Fold
had,
her up.
he had
Fold her
to
up.
he had to fold her in threes, not in two, but like in threes.
Well, like her head was one, and then he
Mhm.
bent her down to her
Tuck-
knees, and then
tuck
brought
in
her
the legs
knees
before-
in.
Right?
That way she could fit.
That man had a plan.
Yep. He was on a mission.
And so
Wait, was that the first time? Was that the first time Tom fainted? Or when did he?
he was fainting all over
Oh,
the place.
yeah, he was.
No, 3 times. He fainted 3 times. Go on. We're getting to my favorite fainting part.
What part is that?
Keep going. So they fold her up.
And
They fold her up.
he gets her home, and he takes BB's processor that has like these 8-inch long copper prods, and apparently there's enough space in her skull for him just to stick it in her brain.
Well, they had a little slot.
Yeah, there
It was a
an
little
incision
slot with
made,
like,
yeah.
She had a ZIF socket like a computer is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there was like little wires in there, so he just clipped it on.
Yeah, soldered it.
Mhm.
Everything fit just
It was
perfect.
perfect.
Everything was in the right.
Like her and
right
BB
area.
were like a perfect pair. Like,
Perfect match.
Yeah,
Here's the
yeah.
thing we didn't say though. Whenever you would see through BB's eyes, it became super pixelated, almost like it was from the Game Boy camera photos.
that's what I thought too. I was like, man, this is all.
Our BB's eyes happened to be made from a 8-year-old Android phone.
But you know, back then when we were watching it, we were like, oh, that's awesome.
These graphics are amazing.
I
Very
bet you they
uphill,
spent
very
a lot of money on this movie because
Look at
just
these.
for this graphics.
Look at these 3-bit graphics.
It looks so. This is what it looks like for a computer. It looks so amazing.
The future is going to be awesome. Technology is going to. So what's one of your favorite parts there, Scylla?
Okay, so right at that point where he puts in the little computer chip, and he's like, "Look, did you see that? Her toes moved. I think that's what he said." And then the whole leg lifts up when he uncovers it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, Tom just falls straight on his face, like there was nothing holding him back. That was a dead man's drop.
Well, he's
right
378 in his class. Give him a break.
Oh, now he's 378.
Oh my goodness, I'm serious. That part, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, he just slammed right into the ground. I was like, that was believable. I applaud him. That was good. That
Yeah.
was good acting right there. Yeah. But that was my favorite fall.
And
That was my favorite pass out scene.
but on the Did You Know for IMDb, it says that every time that Tom fell down, he was really passing out.
For real?
No.
Oh, I was like,
wait.
wait, did he?
Oh
Was
my
he?
God,
Now you feel guilty about it, don't you?
right. It's like, how dare you? Was this because I answered that question earlier? Like,
It was because he was standing up straight and he locked his knees.
So here's the thing. So after she's awake and then she finally wakes up and all that. Now the reason I brought up BB Vision is because now whenever you're looking through Samantha's eyes, she's looking through that 3-bit potato phone. vision.
Wouldn't it be like her regular because it's through her eyes and not?
But they're showing that she's possessed by the chip, she's now a cyborg. No disassemble.
oh, technically, yes. Right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, she's a cyborg now. Part human, part machine, all danger.
Nice.
Deadly Friend, the cutest horror movie you'll ever see.
I know. It
So
was so cute, but it was kind of weird, right? That she was starting to like the pools of blood were starting to take effect in certain areas. She was already starting to rot a little around the face.
like, every
know?
time she was BB, her eyes were like darker.
Her eyeshadow, her eye makeup got bluer and bluer and more on her face.
Right.
And then when she was talking normal, like
Well,
her
no,
face-
don't get to that point.
No.
So who was the
Not yet.
who was the first kill for BB Sam?
It was the dad.
Yes, we have to go back to the beginning.
How does she burns him?
She burned him.
Yeah,
She burned him.
was that? Yeah, against the like, what did they have down there? Like
It was
what
like
is
a
it, furnace?
boiler, like a
Right. It was like, hello,
like a.
right?
Is it for the like not a fireplace, but for the heater type thing in the basement?
No, but what she does though, she beats him up. She breaks his wrist and his neck, and then she's trying to burn him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she
Oh, I
did.
must have missed that.
She broke his neck.
So that has to be still Samantha in there because she goes for revenge for her dad,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, then she goes for revenge for BB and goes to throw Mama from the Miss Parker. It goes to take her out.
Yeah.
And this was the sarcastic murder scene, death scene. How does she kill her, Scylla?
It was beautiful. Death by basketball.
And
Yeah.
it was the same basketball that the 2 times they ran into her before. Once when BB accidentally threw it in there.
2 times.
Well, not 2 times.
No.
That's
It
a
was
basketball
under-
she took away
She
from
took
them.
away from them.
Yes.
Well, I just mean there
It
were
was
two.
her
There were
ball.
2 other interactions with her. One with the basketball, and then she took the ball, and then one when she shot BB. This is the third strike, and she's out.
Yeah.
Smashed her head. Just she chunks at it. Now even though all they did was put a chip in her brain, now she has super strength.
Well, it's from
Okay.
BB.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Like reanimation. Is she breathing because she's rotting?
Right.
So she has no blood flow through her. So don't you need blood in order to move your limbs like that? I don't know. Either way, she had some really powerful, like, that was like the best, I don't know, you can't even call it, I guess an overhead pass almost with one hand,
Yes.
right? She just just baseballed that thing right at her.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the
And,
thing: if that part of her brain is shut down, right? Wow, my screen just flashed and web pages started opening up on their own. Maybe I have a virus. But here's the thing: so humans are a lot stronger than we actually know we are. What happens is we get to a certain part and it kind of hurts, and we don't want to stretch through, or we don't want to hurt ourselves, and mentally we stop ourselves. We tell ourselves we're not strong enough to do this, not strong enough to do that. So maybe that part of her brain isn't activated, so she's using her full human strength. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah,
That sounds.
yeah, like it's primal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, just like the movie The Sadness.
But that thing, wait, what?
The movie that Deborah and I did a podcast
first
for
one.
this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called The Sadness.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Yeah,
man.
I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen it. I don't want to hear it yet until I see it.
Okay, we won't say nothing.
Yeah. I'm like,
So after she decapitates Miss Parker, what happens after that?
Doesn't she go home?
I'm still visualizing the whole like ceramic bowl head splattering with
Filled
like
with Jello.
Jello. Mhm. It was really cute. It was like, you know.
So this is when
Okay, so-
this is when Tom's all like, "No, I'm gonna call the police. This is wrong."
Oh, that's right.
Oh my
You
God,
owe me
these
those,
People
right?
in these movies.
He also passes out when everybody's there at the throw mama from the train,
Well, because he sees her smashed head.
and he passes out.
That's kind of understandable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a pass on that one.
Well, he passed out the other time when she moved her leg. I would get scared.
Well, no, here's the thing though, but a lot of people don't know. Tom and Miss Parker had a secret love affair for years and years.
That's
And
why
so
she never paid.
It was he was emotionally distraught.
Was he mad because she kissed Paul?
Miss Parker didn't kiss Paul.
Pretty sure she
Oh,
did.
wait. I was thinking you were talking about Sam. Never mind.
So
No, this was a secret love affair.
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
for anybody who's still listening, if you're still listening, you know, I just made that up. But so Paul's
You know
trying
somebody's looking
Paul's trying to tell Samantha Beebe that, you know, you can't be doing this. You can't be killing people, you know, because we're trying to hide you and all that. And she's like, no, does not compute. No.
Moving her hands.
Yes. Right? Isn't that cute the way she does?
Yes.
Sorry.
But then he slaps her.
During talking to. Oh, that's right.
He slaps the cyborg Samantha Beebe across the face, and she starts choking the shit out of him.
Because, I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
And as this happens, this is when the local 1980s trope bully Carl shows up. And she throws him like in front of a police car, and he gets hit by a police car.
I forgot about that part. Because I was
I
thinking.
forgot about that, but it sounds so poetic, though.
Yeah. Because I was thinking it was just the dad and Miss
Nope,
Parker.
It was also the bully.
Wow.
Yeah, the bully that BB had crunched his
Yeah.
bejeebies, his BBs.
I forgot about that part.
So this is when all the police are there, the local cops and all that, and they have their guns
Wait,
drawn.
Did she jump Tom, too?
That was.
Or-
Did she jump Tom?
I thought she jumped out of the window and jumped Tom.
Yes.
Because he was going to go get...
Because he was
The
going to go
police?
call the cops. It was
she was, like,
when
bashing his head in?
when Paul was in the house with his mom.
Oh, she Superman's out the window.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly,
chunks herself.
There you go. Yes,
And she
yes.
lands right on top
She
of
looked
him.
like Ralph Wiggum when he gets thrown out the window in The Simpsons. He's just like, I'm in danger. Wow.
Yeah, she does. And
Yeah.
Yes, and grabs the back of his head and just bashes it. Yeah.
But he doesn't die, right?
No.
No.
But that's when the police show up.
Yeah, and then she
and
took
and
off
then
running.
their guns drawn. Well, here's the thing, though. And then she's looking through her potato vision, her pixel eyes,
Oh,
right? And then it cuts to like normal vision. And then she goes from being like, no, does not compute, and beep, 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 and all that. And then all of a sudden she's like, Paul, in her regular voice.
Because it's Sam.
Did y'all notice that when she goes, Paul, she had less blue around her eyes?
Yes. I noticed it.
I didn't.
And then as soon as she went back into beep, burp, 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 she had tons of blue around her eyes again.
She was robot.
She was robot. She was a cyborg again.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I need to pick up on that one next time I see it.
Yep. So then she just decides to start bolting towards Paul, right?
Well,
With her
the
hands.
cop.
With her hands
Yes,
in that way.
she's doing the Vulcan live long and prosper with both her
Technically,
hands.
she's running towards the cop because he has a gun.
And
to
Paul
her.
gets in the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Paul's behind the cop,
And so
and she's like,
she runs
all
into both of them,
confused.
and they all look like they're hugging. And that's when the shot happens, like it does in movies where you don't know who gets shot. Then she falls over and she's shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
And she dies.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Right.
Okay. Then we get to the part of the movie that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yes, I don't like that part.
Well,
Okay, yes.
this wasn't the original ending. This was also another one of the, oh, this is what you want. This is what you want. Fine, we're going to give you this. And the studio's like, we love it.
Well, it's confusing.
Yeah, it was a little.
So Paul, who now has a twisted, demented story, like they could have gone with a part 2 with this, but he goes to get her from the morgue and probably try to reprogram her again or reboot her, turn her off and turn her on again,
Yeah.
recycle the system.
Yeah. Wait at
And,
least 5 minutes.
and as he pulls the cover back, like she wakes up and starts choking him, and he grabs her hands. He's like, no. And as he's holding her hands, the skin starts tearing off, and then from her arms, and they're all like pistons and like robotic arms. And then her face starts stretching, and you see an amalgamation of you like that word?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what? I need to look that up. That was pretty good, dude.
It's a mix of Samantha and BB's face, which is now the skeletal frame underneath the skin. And has her hands around his neck and turns his head to the side, and then it fades to black, and you hear the
Yeah, but she also says, Paul, like, come with me. And then it says, BB. BB.
and it goes to what could possibly be the greatest outro song of all time. What?
Oh, I thought to play it.
No, I thought you were gonna tell me because I totally forgot. Like,
It was a remix of BB. It's all BB.
I don't even know if I have it. Hold on.
BB.
yeah, I was like,
BB. But it's all like all techno
BB,
remix.
BB over, BB over, and BB over and over and again.
Yep.
Here it is. Here it is. Can you hear it, Scylla?
yeah.
BB.
Oh man, I guess I didn't let it finish. Definitely gonna go to sleep to that tonight.
We were all like, wow, that's an awesome song.
That is now my ringtone.
So let's get to the part where we rate the movie. Or let's rate the movie. Normally we would do hey, what did you think of the movie back then? What do you think of the movie now? But I don't remember it from back then. If you do, Silly, you can.
Well, I mean, I remember how much I enjoyed it, and like I was walking around like a kid that I was, beep 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 beep, knowing the family.
So is
So obviously, I really enjoyed it when I was younger, obviously.
So
and
is
then the tape
it still
mysteriously went missing.
mysteriously? Is it still as good for you? Is it still as good for you?
I enjoyed it. It was really nice. It was cute. It was funny. But yeah, the ending, the act, like the ending, that just kind of bummed me out because I was like, I don't remember that. And I was like, maybe I started stopping tape.
So from a 0 being the worst, 10 being the best, you can do 0.5, 0.3 or whatever in there also. What would you give it now?
Now, I would probably give it maybe like a 5.3.
5.3, that's kind of low. Deborah?
Yeah, right.
I think I give it like a 7. I remember it from when it first came out, and I remember loving the movie, and me too. I watched it all the time, but then I forgot about it. And then when we watched it this last time, I was like, okay, I remember exactly the way it was, but it was completely different. Like back then, I probably would have gave it a 10. That's how much I love the movie. But watching it now, there was a lot of things I didn't like, especially the ending. So I give it a 7.
I'll give the movie a 6. I'll meet y'all right there in the middle. Just because I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a short movie, so it didn't take up lots of my day or anything like that. And it had some gruesomeness to it. But I mean, you could tell that it had a better story, and you can tell that they kind of hack and slashed it. But yeah, Deadly Friend. How do you like this? Let me ask you, so for podcasts and all that, instead of doing a review, because everybody does reviews and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we're doing just like a discussion of and what it meant to us or what it means to us now or how we reacted to it instead of like a full-on review. What do you think about that?
I think that's fine because it is nostalgic. At least the movies that I come up with isn't that pretty much how it goes. I'm not sure with y'all, but when you're hanging with folks and you're watching these old school movies from your childhood or, younger years, that you're just reminiscing and going over like all the funny parts or acting them out or just being silly or trying to connect the dots, of like who was in what. Pretty much, yeah.
It takes you back to the day, just memories of the way we were.
Of how annoying I was, yeah, or still am. But yeah, because right after I saw that, I was kind of still doing it. I was like,
BB.
When we watched it that night too, we were all like, during the movie, me and Josh were trying to do our hands the way she does.
Because I can do the left hand because it's like the Vulcan, thing from Star Trek. But I can't do the right hand though. I mean,
it's funny because
I
I can do the right hand, but I can't do the left hand.
He crosses them in the middle and then separates them on the other, right?
Yeah.
And like a Vulcan, yeah. And she's all moving them up and down.
And her head's moving side to side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
great acting.
Yep.
That's all we really have for the podcast today. That's
all right.
55 minutes worth of podcast.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that.
And see how
Wow.
easy it is. It's because Deborah and I are so cool to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's I can vouch for that. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So thanks for tuning in to I almost said Bucket of Popcorn. That's the other podcast. The Cast of the Pod. Cast of the Pod. And all our social medias are Cast of the Pod. There's even a TikTok on there now. Did I tell you, Deborah, we have a TikTok?
No, you didn't tell
Cast
me.
of the Pod, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
Huh, that's good to know.
All right. So until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Deb.
And our special guest today.
Hello.
Yeah, we didn't even have to tell her that's you. So
She already knew.
So until next time, insert catchy catchphrase. Right?
Don't just have a good day.
No, that's somebody else's.
Oh. Have an awesome day. See what I did there?
Wait. May
What?
your day be total awesome sauce.
There? See?
May your day be total awesome sauce.
Yep.
I like it.
Me too.
Right?
right.
Stop squishy.